For the last 3 years, AI has been gaining more dominance in the global tech industry. Companies have claimed that it will transform everything from customer service to productivity to software development to research, education, healthcare, and even sports. Billions of dollars has been invested in this industry. New AI products have been launched every single week, and executives have claimed that companies and people who do not implement or adopt AI will be left behind. But behind these headlines, news stories, and social media buzz, something else is happening underneath. A lot of companies have been scaling back, delaying, or even completely cancelling their AI plans. It's not because AI doesn't work, but finally, the reality of deploying AI at such an enormous scale has shown to be much more complicated than everyone expected. So, why are these companies shutting down their AI plans or scaling back? That's what we're going to find out in this video. Let's get straight into it. The current AI boom began in late 2022 with the public release of ChatGPT. Suddenly, AI became accessible to millions of people, and the response was extraordinary. Tech companies began implementing AI into every single product that they had. Investors poured billions of dollars into AI startups, promising the next big thing. And you had executives rushing to implement AI because they did not want to be seen as old school or not up to date. This created what many analysts described as the AI gold rush, similar to the dot-com boom in the late 2000s that created companies such as Facebook, Google, and so on. Suddenly, you had companies popping out everywhere with new AI tools, from AI search engines to AI coding tools, AI chatbots, and even AI-generated marketing campaigns. Suddenly, every company wanted to be part of this great AI boom. They designed AI features quickly without even thinking if their customers really wanted AI or if the AI truly benefited their customers. Suddenly, the focus shifted from will this solve a problem to how can we implement AI? And this shift in focus was where the majority of the problems began. One of the biggest challenges in AI is the cost. Training advanced AI models requires enormous amounts of computing power, but training is only a small part of the expenses. Running AI systems every single day can be extremely expensive. Every prompt sent to an AI system requires huge amounts of processing power, computing power, hardware, cooling systems, electricity, and even network infrastructure. So when millions of users are added into this factor, the cost increases dramatically. Some companies have realized that these AI features come with significant expenses but provide little to no additional revenue, thereby downgrading the feasibility and how much profit the company can actually get from these AI systems. Besides, an AI chatbot might impress a couple of users, but if it takes millions of dollars to operate annually and doesn't increase profit in any way, executives begin to ask the difficult questions. And this has forced a lot of companies to reevaluate how much AI they actually need. So instead of deploying AI into every single factor that it can be deployed in, they are focused on the areas where technology and AI has the most measurable impact. They evaluate how it impacts the company both in the short term and in the long term. Another major problem is that AI works best in a controlled environment. It's basically an experiment when it's done that way. Real-world scenarios are far much more messier and have less predictable variables for the AI to account for. AI still makes mistakes. AI still gives inaccurate information now and then. AI could even misinterpret your inputs, and besides, it generates content that constantly needs human review. And this is quite detrimental because if you employ AI as a way to automate your work, but it constantly needs human review and human feedback just to get a simple, correct output, the productivity shrinks dramatically and brings into question how useful AI truly is for these companies. Besides, in some industries, a small mistake in the system could lead to huge consequences. A small error in a customer support request will lead to trust damage and reputation damage. Besides, in a coding project, a minor code error could lead to security vulnerabilities, hackers, and so on. Even in legal documents, a small error could lead to legal risk and getting sued, all sorts of things. So when AI is employed to do such critical work, it has to be constantly monitored just to get simple results. So does it really have any benefit at that point? No. So that's why most companies are realizing that AI is best used as a tool, as an assistant, not a complete replacement. Therefore, the results that companies were promised of automation, complete automation, and greater profit are slowly dying down, and everyone is jumping back down to reality. A major concern with using AI is that it requires huge amounts of data. This also creates a huge concern, privacy and security concerns, because many companies who implement AI into their processes require huge amounts of data and store huge amounts of data, ranging from financial records, personal records, client information, intellectual property, and industry secrets. This creates a whole new criteria for executives to examine. Because every time they employ an AI system to automate the workflow, there are different considerations. How the data is being used, who has access to the data, how much data is used, where is the data stored, and if the data gets hacked or accessed, what is the damage that could happen to them. In industries that are highly technical and highly critical, such as medical fields, legal fields, so on, this creates a whole new barrier because there is different scrutiny that comes with this. This could halt and completely derail any plans for AI implementation. This also means that GDPR and data protection has to be considered far much more, adding a whole new layer of complication that makes the use of AI much more difficult. There is another obstacle that is gaining more public attention by the day. That is infrastructure. AI requires enormous amounts of computing power, and as such, you're going to need more servers, more data centers, more cooling systems, and more electricity for everything to run on. But right now, some regions are feeling the heavy challenges that come with the growing demands of modern data centers, such as energy and cooling demands. But building a data center requires time, money, and regulatory approval. But when the technology that is driving this growth, the AI, is growing at such a rapid rate, but the physical infrastructure required to house, deploy, and invest into these data systems isn't growing at the same rate, it becomes a limiting factor, and as such, it creates a windfall. This results in a lot of AI companies scaling back or even canceling the rollout of AI products for the simple fact that the physical resources required to house the AI systems isn't growing at the same rate, and it makes it unfeasible to continue going down this road. During the early stages of the AI boom, investors heavily rewarded companies who promised ambitious AI plans. And a lot of these companies, this simply meant slapping AI on whatever product that they had. But today, that narrative is changing. This is because investors want actual returns on investment. And secondly, they want to see products that users actually use, because when users use a product and enjoy, you gain more profit from subscriptions, monthly payments, the list goes on. Right now, investors do not just rely on excitement, they want revenue, profitability, efficiency growth, and sustainable business growth. This is forcing executives across various companies to reevaluate projects more carefully, because an experimental AI initiative that cannot demonstrate clear value or a clear return on investment isn't profitable, and it won't stay very long in the current climate of the industry. And as such, different companies are scaling back, delaying, or completely scrapping various AI plans that they had, simply for the fact that investors and the industry as a whole is getting tired of gimmicky AI but actually wants useful tools that do a good job for a good price and are actually enjoyable. All this isn't to say that the AI is dead. It simply means that the industry and the users of these systems are shifting their interests and shifting their mindset. And as such, the market has to adjust. I don't believe that the story of AI is ending. In fact, I believe that AI will remain one of the biggest pieces of technology the human race will ever develop, and it will continue being most powerful in the coming decades. But right now, the industry has reached the end of the hype phase. Companies have realized that successful AI adoption doesn't require powerful models, and it requires sustainable economics, reliable performance, stronger security, and clear business value. The companies who are succeeding in AI aren't necessarily the ones who slap the name on any product or use it where it's not needed. They are the ones who find the errors where it's most needed and implement it to the fullest value. So when you hear that companies are canceling their AI plans, it doesn't mean that AI is disappearing. It simply means that the industry is entering a much more mature phase where actual usability and value is promoted far more than gimmicks. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's been a lovely video to make and really insightful. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something. Let me know what you think down in the comments about the AI boom and what's going on in the world of AI. See you in the next one. Bye.